Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. My name is Man Behind Schedule, but feeling pretty good. And today we're going to do another Elixir Exercism. I believe today we're going to talk about the concepts of if and nil and work on the name badge example. So let us break into it. Besides condish, I don't know how you pronounce that. Besides cond, Elixir also provides the macro if, which is useful if you need to check for only one condition. If accepts a condition in two options, it returns the first option if the condition is truthy, and the second option if the condition is falsy. Age equals 15, if age is greater than 16, do, else, end. Nothing terribly crazy and exciting there. If it is also possible to write an if expression on a single line, note the comma after the condition. So here we have if age is greater than 16, comma, do, colon, beer, comma, else, colon, no beer. The syntax is helpful for very short expressions, but should be avoided if the expression won't fit on a single line. Truthy and falsy. In an Elixir, all data types evaluate to a truthy or falsy value when they are encountered in a Boolean context, like an if expression. All data is considered truthy except for false and nil. In particular, empty strings, the integer 0, and an empty list are all considered truthy values in Elixir. And then next up, we have the nil concept. So nil is an English word meaning nothing or zero. In English, nil is a special value that means an absence of value. So for example, if you have a favorite color, if you do not have a favorite color, you can store that expression or that intent with the keyword nil. In other programming languages, you might see something like null or none. They play a very similar role. So with all that said, we're going to work on the name badge example. In this exercise, you'll be writing code to print name badges for factory employees. Employees have an ID, name, and department name. Employee badge labels are formatted as follows. Bracket id, name, department, all caps. All right, cool. So we'll get started by downloading the example locally. We'll change it to that. We'll open it VS Code. We got our source file. And then we've got up here we'll put the test file, and then we'll put the read. All right. So we only got one function here. So we've got one. Do we got multiple? Yeah, we only got one describe. So okay. Let's just get started with this. Number one. Print a badge for an employee. Implement the name badge print function. It should take an ID, name, and just department. It should return the badge label with the department name in uppercase. So, for example, 67 is okay. So we'll just copy that. Does it print or return? It should return the badge label department. Okay. So this will just be like that. And we'll start this off by just putting ID, name, and then department. Of course, I expect this will not work for everything, but it should help us work with maybe task one. So let us test at cursor. This smaller. All right, that looks good. Number two, print a badge for a new employee. Due to a quirk in the computer system, new employees occasionally don't have an ID when they start working at the factory. As badges are required, they will receive a temporary badge without an ID prefix. Extend print 3. When the ID is missing, it should print a badge without it. Okay. So normally I would do this with a guard. Or a function match, but because we're learning if, I will do it with. So if we have an ID, do else, and then yeah, we'll sub it like this. So if we have an ID, we'll do that. If we don't have an ID, we just print it. Just That should work. Print the employee without the ID. All right, we'll test this test. That works, and it doesn't. Oh, that's because it's expecting. It's expecting the capitalization. Oh, the capitalization was part of this. Name in uppercase. Okay, so we skipped that. Okay. So we'll just say department equals string dot upcase department. Should stop that. Okay. I'm moving right along. Number 3, print a badge for the owner. Even the factory's owner has to wear a badge at all times. However, an owner does not have a department. In this case, the label should print owner instead of the department name. Extend print. When the department is missing, assume the badge belongs to the owner. Well, I would solve that with owner, right? Oh, it's like when it comes in as nil. Yeah, that should work. Let's test a cursor. When is binary? Oh. False. It's trying to print one and John and nil. Because there is a value, it is owner. Alright, let's just say department equals if department is not nil to so we'll say owner, else it'll be department. Not nil. I mean, you can do bang. The department is not nil. Do that, otherwise just the department. That should. So Stephen Dance comes as nil. Oh, that's fine. Or sure. Where's it get? Closer. No function cosmo. String to up. Is that good string to upcase? Up. Converts all characters. Oh. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's see here. String. Contains downcase. What's the opposite case? Oh no, that should. I mean, that's upcase. What am I missing? Did it get a nil? What's the argument? Yeah, I got nil. How did it? If department equals nil. Bad logic there. Okay. Okay. And then, oh, is that it? We'll run all on file. Okay, so all the tests pass. Are we happy with this code? I don't think so. Kind of clunky. I would probably write it as something like this, like function private, like styled sty style department label, and then that would take department, and it would return the upcased one. And then, yeah, I mean, then you put it in this. We gotta put the right argument in there. I mean, that looks a little bit better. This whole, like, if department is nil, its owner, you know, I don't really like that. And I know we're supposed to use if here, but I mean, the way I would probably do it would be something like this, where it's like id name, and then I'd match a very specific nil, and I'd say, you know, when this happens, call print with ID, name, and the value of owner, and then I don't need this stuff. Similarly, if it is missing, so I mean, this is where like the whole point of the exercise is to use if, and normally I wouldn't do an if statement. This in I'd probably a pattern. We'll submit this solution and see if the server has any other concerns. Okay, the server seems happy. I feel relatively happy. See how other people solve this. So this person, separator owner, id name reject is nil. I mean this works. It feels heavy in my head. Like I have to kind of go through reject stuff. Upcase department. Otherwise that. I mean this technically works. One like note I have is like we're mixing rules. Like the domain rule is like we want to capitalize the department name. We're printing this label, but here, like the fact that owner DEP has this capitalized string up here, like you're making an assumption that like you know this is later going to be capitalized, and you really shouldn't make that assumption. You really shouldn't be using. Well, you can use strings for this. These are more of a string value, but I don't think you shouldn't capitalize it up here because then you're making an assumption that you know it's going to be capitalized elsewhere. I also don't like the shortening of the D. Like I'd rather just say department, owner department. Yeah, I mean it's a little awkward because I don't think, as I said, like this is a little. I would do that differently. I'd probably pattern match nil for, or you know, when it is nil at the top and as a separate an inline if, but we're learning ifs, so all right, cool. I think we're gonna mark this as complete. We'll publish our iteration. We have learned if and nil. We have unlocked 5 concepts: access behavior, date times, enums, keyword list, and regular expressions. We have a whole laundry list of exercises unlocked. And yeah, cool. All right, so in the next example or the next video, wow, are we gonna get into processes? That seems cool. I might skip those and do some of these other ones first because I feel like processes are pretty. It's a much like higher level concept than like date and time. Although arguably processes are probably one of the reasons Elixir is so cool. I don't know. But we'll probably end up doing some other of the smaller ones first. But until then, I just want to thank you all for watching. Hope you really enjoy the exercises. And if you have any questions or feedback, let me know. Other than that, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.